Hey everybody, welcome to my hobby. Invaders number 5 is dope. This entire series has been dope. This is, of course, another Chip Zdarsky book. So the 3 Chip Zdarsky books that I'm currently reading are Daredevil, Spider-Man Life Story, and Invaders. And all of them are top-notch. So the Invaders series is a callback to older comics, as all comic books actually are, if you think about it. But Invaders was a team consisting of Namor, the original Human Torch, Bucky, in this instance, the Winter Soldier, back in the day, Bucky, and Captain America. So far, it's been really good. It has a lot of twists and turns. Apparently Namor has gone completely insane. Oh, by the way, look at this drawing. Isn't that a great drawing? But this is an entirely worthless and wasted page. So Namor is troubled by the past, and there's a lot of mystery to his past. In the comics, for a while, he had amnesia. His memory's all messed up. And right now, in the current timeline of this story, Namor is looking to create a war between Atlantis and the human world, which I believe is always his shtick. But he's troubled by World War II and what happened. He's troubled by the past. And he's got like this guy in his head, and I don't know who he is, but it's clear that he's only in Namor's head. He doesn't really exist. It's been established that Namor's kind of going nuts. Last issue, Winter Soldier was shot in the head. It's classic comic book cliffhanger stuff. So back in the day, like, a villain would die, and then they would come back a few issues later with like a convenient excuse as to why they didn't die. So you think they die, cliffhanger, come back, they're not dead. In this instance, Bucky gave a woman a gun so that she would trust him, and it only had blanks in it. So in the last comic, you saw him get shot in the head and apparently killed. In this issue, it turns out it's just blanks. So even though he took a blank to the back of the head, it still hurt him, but he's fine. And this is great. This issue number 5 is where everything's been building towards this. There's been good action, and there's been a lot of setup, but it's very well written by Chip Zdarsky. But as it turns out, there's a guy in the U.S. Navy who's a double agent for Atlantis. Everybody's trying to stop Namor because he's got nuclear bombs he's going to shoot at the U.S., and the U.S. is going to shoot bombs at him. And this is where the entire plan comes to fruition. And the stakes are just getting higher. You got the original Human Torch fighting Namor. Which, by the way, there's this advertisement here. The 2 Jonathan Hickman comics. I don't know anything about Jonathan Hickman. I wasn't reading comics when he was popular. But this just looks cool. House of X and Powers of X. And this is a dope painting there. That was really good. I'm looking forward to these 2 storylines. So I'm holding it like this for the copyright. So all the Avengers are getting assembled to stop the bombs from hitting. And this, like, you gotta have a good villain. And Namor is a great villain in this. He's a villain with a plan who's, spoiler alert, if you're not reading this or buying it, go buy it. You should be buying this. Don't be a fool. Buy this. Go check it out. Anyway, there's a double agent in the U.S. Navy. Captain America is like, hey, Commander, you've got a double agent in here. You need to stop him. So she goes to try to stop him, to at least delay him for an hour while Cap figures things out, and boom, him and his men just murder everyone in this room. And as it turns out, so this is the classic switcheroo. Like, you see this kind of in movies and comics a lot. There's like a plan where the audience thinks one thing is going to happen, and the characters in the movie think one thing's going to happen, but the person with the plan is actually doing the reverse. For instance, in Batman Begins, you think that Batman's trying to stop the train, and Ra's al Ghul thinks Batman's trying to stop the train, but really he's trying to get the train going. Or I just talked about this the other day, the Batman Who Laughs. he's trying to, Batman's trying to prevent the Batman Who Laughs from like poisoning the water reservoir, but but the Batman Who Laughs is trying to get Batman to activate the last laugh protocol. I'm gonna have to read that whole storyline again. For some reason, it's just muddled in my head. But these last few pages of this comic book is just where Namor is winning. Like all these people are killed. He, you know, Captain America fails to delay this guy. The Human Torch and Namor got into a fight, and Namor ripped off the Human Torch's head. I mean, he's an android, but he ripped off his head, and then everybody's getting into a fight. And you know, the art's pretty good. It's good and interesting to look at. And then it's revealed that because the Avengers go to Atlantis to stop the nukes being fired from Atlantis on the U.S., but what ends up happening is Namor's like, do you really think that I kept my missiles at Atlantis? And Captain America realizes that Namor wasn't going to fire the nukes at America first. He needed to have the U.S. fire nukes at Atlantis first so he could justify a retaliation. And that's been his whole plan this whole time. And this moment is when Cap realizes it. When he realizes that everything comes together. And are you ready for this last page? I was just like, wow, the stakes are getting raised. Shit's going nuts. Boom. Nuclear bombs go off on the shores. I thought that was freaking great. Like it just builds, and the heroes lose. That's what's cool about this. The heroes lose. The villain wins. World War Namor. I'm excited to see number 6. This book's gonna get canceled. Like, I know this book's gonna get canceled. Nobody's reading it. Nobody's talking about it. It's just, and it's sad because it's really good. But I'm excited to see where it goes. And I love this art, this J. Scott Campbell over here. I've got this on my pull list already, and I specifically state I want the J. Scott Campbell cover, not the variant cover. But I'm worried that the people at my comic book shop are going to screw it up, because they just screw up my pull list every single week. Which, I mean, one of the guys who works there is really nice, so he'll always be like, all right, they messed this up, so you can have this one for free. So, I mean, that's cool, but I'm worried that they're going to screw it up, and they're going to like either forget to give it to me, or they're going to give me a variant cover, because they were just giving me variant covers for a long time, and I had to stop and go, nah, I don't need variant covers, because Marvel doesn't know how to do variant covers. Like, yes, Gwen Stacy is a character in Spider-Man, but there's no reason for Gwen Stacy to be on this cover of, you know, Spider-Man symbiote. She's not in the story. Like, it's pointless to have this on the cover. If she was in the story, I'd be like, cool, I'm going to check this out, but she's not, so it's very misleading. But J. Scott Campbell, man, what a fucking great artist. Jesus Christ, his girls are always beautiful. But yeah, this is Invaders. Go buy it, check it out. You could probably find the first 4 issues on the stand still. Like, there's a mystery going on. Like, I want to know what happens. Why is Namor hallucinating? I think Namor's got some post-traumatic stress going on from his past. I mean, I think that's clear. But I want to know what's going to happen. Like, the Human Torch just had his head ripped off. I mean, he's an android, so I assume he'll be put back together. But like, what? Charles Xavier apparently, like Captain America and the Human Torch, found a photo of Namor and Charles Xavier in the past, and you know, like, I'm interested in finding out what's going on, what's happening, why it's happening. Avengers Endgame. That was a good movie. I was a little disappointed by it. Like, it wasn't as good as Infinity War. And did nobody else notice that Hawkeye became a mass murderer in that film? Was it just me? Like, there's a point where they're talking like, oh, I found stacks of cartel bodies. I think it's Barton. Like, anyway. Invaders, go check this out. It's really awesome. You should be reading this. Thank you for watching. Please check out my other channel, Video Games TV, which you can search under The Real Fuzzy Pickles, because I don't think YouTube's putting it up as Video Games TV. And you can also check out my channel where I put up my film work called Strange Cities TV. Anyway, take care. Bye. Bye.